Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Dumb SEO Questions, episode 181. Each week we meet here to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. With us tonight we have Masataki Wasa. Masataki is webmaster of wasaweb.net in the UK. You can find Masataki at wasaweb.nl. Masataki is also a Google top contributor on the AdSense and also the Google Plus help community. Rob Mars is an AdWords aficionado. He's based in the Netherlands. He can be found at marketbiz.nl, marketbiz.nl. Rob is also a Google top contributor on the in the Dutch language on AdWords, Webmasters, and Search. Did I get it right? Wow. And Tim Capper is CEO of OnlineOwnership.com, also based in the UK. Actually the capital of the UK, which is Corby. And Tim can be found at OnlineOwnership.com. He's also a Google top contributor on the Google My Business community. All right, our first question is from Arithmol TP, who asks, what is the AdWords Shake-up algorithm? I see Praveen Kumar gave an answer in the community. He said, hi, recently Google removed right-hand side ads and rolled out showing 4 ads in the top, also 3 ads at the bottom of the page. And that was called the Google Shake-up algorithm. In other words, one winner was chosen from the right-hand side ads, or at least winners were chosen from the right ads to appear in the top 4 ads.
But that's only for competitive search terms. And I wouldn't call it an algorithm, I'd just call it a change to the layout. Oh well.
Yeah. It's a means for yeah.
I see that they're testing product carousels today. So, I mean, there's always going to be changes. It's not a shake-up. It's just a change in the layout. I mean, today they're testing product carousels for Google Merchant, and when you use that with AdWords. So instead of having the 6 blocks on the right, they're doing scrolling carousels. So there's always going to be changes and layouts, and go with the flow. It ain't like, yeah, just keep abreast of it. But when I saw algorithm, I was like, oh.
All right. Anybody else on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how it is in other countries, but in the Netherlands, the right-hand side is a lot of times just empty, so no knowledge graph and no shopping.
Yeah.
So it looks like an enormous waste of space.
Yeah, but it's only I know exactly what you mean, but it seems to be. Yeah, I don't know. There must be a plan somewhere for something.
I'm sure.
Because it's like you say, it's a massive waste of space. They've lost, they've lost some advertisers running down the side, or have the advertisers had to increase to compete in the top 4 at the top and 2 at the bottom? I don't know.
I don't see real changes yet in my customers' data, but I expect the cost per click will go up.
Mm.
If there is less space, then space becomes more expensive.
Yeah.
That's a given thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen any evidence recently, Tim, that might lead one to believe that Google actually has a plan?
I can honestly say to you, Jim, I actually don't think they have a plan, mate. I do not think anybody knows what the flip is going on there. I'm just.
I thought I'd get that response.
It beggars belief.
It beggars belief.
Yeah, especially after this last couple of weeks where there's just been so many like complete and monumental. I don't know, mate. It's either the place is too big to get stuff done. What I mean by that is there's too many little people who've then got to go to a couple more managers, to eventually get some freaking thing sorted out. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't think anybody speaks to anyone, or I don't know. Maybe it's just too big. I don't know.
Is it time to get the sewerage coming out of the Googleplex analysed for traces of cocaine, do you think?
Nah, man, they're too geeky for that stuff. But they've probably synthesized something. No, I just think, I don't know. Nobody seems to know what's going on. Too many little broken pieces in between. Ultimately, it'll affect it, and I mean, they'll fix it, but it's just winding me up. Winding me up in a minute.
And yet the steamroller rolls on, and
it always will. A megalithic monster of a. That's just the way it is, you know.
And the rivers of gold only seem to get deeper.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next, and this one is from Marty Eigner. I think Marty's based in the UK, so the response that you guys might have might be useful to him. I see Tim Capper wrote a brilliant answer to this one in the community, and I thank Tim and all of the other people who take the trouble to give answers through the week to people who ask questions of us. Okay, so Marty Eigner said, how do you deal with defamatory reviews on Google Plus from competitors? Is there a way to have them removed? I notice also that in the news we're probably going to be discussing later, I think we've got an item where a judge in the Netherlands has commanded Google to hand over the IP addresses and other details for fake reviewers. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, I mean the standard way and the standard default to deal with this is flag the review. Between you and me, I just don't. Look. Our CMs at GMB swear that when you flag a review, it gets queued up and someone does look at it. I don't know. Then the next thing would be to get hold of business support. Now, you need to understand, these people are literally, supporting a call center. Occasionally, if you're in the US, you might actually speak to someone in the US. But generally, it's in a call center. What you need to do is you need to present, as much possible evidence that you have that this is, against the guidelines. So against the guidelines would obviously be someone that's never visited, someone, as much possible evidence as you can. Now, we have had a few successes in that, where support has actually removed, when they can clearly see that there has been a thing. But unfortunately, I'd have to say that I would suppose in 7 out of 10 instances, I don't ever see them being removed by support. Support tends to just send that randomized templated email going, you know, everything looks fine and it's not against guidelines and blah blah blah. So, and then it comes down to, then it boils down to, if you really need to get rid of it because it is libelous, defamatory, or absolutely poppycock. You know, it depends what country you're in. If you're in the US, unless you've got hundreds of thousands, you're in a no-win situation. So then I would suggest reaching out and creating a proper review strategy. Every customer gets an email with a link to all your different review sites, and just basically try and build up better reviews. If you're in the UK, we've got some great libel and defamatory laws. You can send a letter to Google UK, obviously from a solicitor, so it'll cost you 50 quid. You know, requesting full name and or takedown, because they don't have the full name and address of the actual person, and Google's not going to go to court to defend what's been published on their site, and they're not going to go through the whole thing to figure out what actually, if the person said was true or not. In my experience and in all the times that we've had letters sent, it's always been taken down. So that's your next one. You'll have to just check what country your client's in, what the situation is. But like I said, if you're in the US, well, you're going to have a tough one there. You just really need to, and I would say this applies to any country in the world, actually, is to basically reach out, to all your customers from that day forward. Put a nice, strategy in place when someone's purchased something, or even if you're an in-store, people have come in-store, and if you capture email addresses, send them an email. Did they like the product, the service? Please, drop us a review, and basically push the crap ones down.
Yep. Well, that's a proper answer. I'm just looking up Marty Agner's location. Oh, Marty's in Australia. He must be a good SEO. Okay, well, I'm not sure. Our laws are pretty much the same. I haven't had to do this because all of my clients have great reviews. But yes, thank you for a great set of answers, guys. Moving on to... Go ahead, Rob.
A little something, and that is that the Dutch judge only judged on fake reviews, not the content of it.
Yeah. And this is the thing. You see, they went through the standard process, flagged it, nothing happened. Got hold of business support, and like a lot of businesses, she was, I think, childcare, something like that. Now, you can't have an anonymous person using childcare, right? Every client that uses childcare, you've got names, addresses, the details of the kids, because, for child safety, you can't have like nutters and people you don't know walking in and out. So basically, under the guide, under one of Google's review guidelines is that you need to be the person that had the customer experience to leave this review, to leave a review. You can't review on behalf of other people. You can't leave reviews. So essentially, she got hold of her support and said, this review this person never came, because every single person we've ever in our entire lives have dealt with, we have got a file on, because we have to know who you are to leave your kid with us, or vice versa. And Google support was the typical, oh no, I don't think it's breaking any laws, no, it's not breaking any guidelines, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, as any business would be, like, some people just go, oh, whatever, and I'll build some better ones. She actually was like, no, sorry, I'm not having that, because it's just, I'm not having it. And good for her. And yeah, it was deemed that obviously it was, a fake review. You can't go to Google business support, or you can't, in any instance, take any kind of legal action if it's a real customer who's pissed off with your product or service. Do you see what I mean? And of course, if they are a real customer and they're pissed off with your product or service, there are still certain things that you can write about a business or product. You can't go and defame them and libel them. So, everything is within moderation. But the crux of the matter is the person who leaves a review on a Google business page has to have been the customer, and the person wasn't the customer, and whatever they had specifically written did not occur. So yeah, she was well within her rights, and well done to her.
Yeah, interesting was that the proof was in the fact that the profile photo was taken somewhere from the internet at random.
And I think it was also, I'm sure it was also one of the, there was quite a few little bits, but basically it was, that person was not a customer.
Cool. All right, then let's move on to the next one. This is a bit daunting for me, because I'm not sure if I can read this one on the fly, but it's from a good friend of the Dumb SEO Questions community, Niraj Pandey. I know Niraj from the old days on the Google Webmaster Forum. And so, look, I will attempt to read it out, but you guys will have to read between the lines for me. Niraj said, hi, Dumb SEO community. What do you think I should have in my website different type pages? Like airline pages, city routes pages, city flights pages, and airline route pages. Actually, what I'm working on is I'm not planning any city guide kind of content. What I think is like on a city template. I would like to have the detail on how many flights run from a city, what are the airports in this city, and what airlines run from this city, airline content, etc. But if I use the search engine fetches city routes from my city page, and in any city routes page, I want to show that my particular city routes page, my city page is appearing. Now, look, I'm sorry, Niraj, I'm doing my best here, but I realise I'm not doing very well. I think I should work on anchor text connecting to that specific route page. Link building is off nowadays. I don't know if that's a certainty. And also can't get unnatural links for so many route pages. What do you think I should work on? Maybe I am missing something, so looking for your expert advice. All right, guys. What can we say to Niraj?
Quite honestly, I got a bit lost with that. I'm not entirely sure on what he's trying to do. But if you go to googleblog.blogspot.co.uk, new ways to plan your vacation while on, they have just launched a destination kind of planning where you can plan your entire holiday from your destination through to your flights to your times. So that could be an idea to look at in terms of how they're staging it. Now, it pulls in flights, times, hotel searches, everything into one sort of destination travel itinerary. Oh.
Yes, Tim put a link in there to googleblog.blogspot.co.uk/2016/03/ and all these words are hyphenated, new ways to plan your vacation while on.html. So you might like to look at that. Niraj, I'm sorry. The thing I would say is that link earning is still a vital part of your task. Maybe if it is something that if there are so many root pages that it's just too much work to find links, at least to get them for the top level domain, and maybe that will slow down. But yes, I think it's something that shouldn't be forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm struggling to understand is what is the content on the page, who is it aimed at, and what does it hope to achieve. So from the description, it sounds like he mentions airline pages, city routes. So is that for people to go there or for people to leave from that city? That could be two totally different things, right? He doesn't want to have a city guide as such, so that means it's not aimed at people coming to that city and spending time in that city. So it's possible that he's trying to aim at people who are purely looking at how to get there. So it might be plane tickets, might be hotel reservations, things like that. So I think it will really be dependent on what exactly he's trying to achieve with that site and with those pages.
Yes, and with it seems to me he's saying that he doesn't want to build a city guide sort of content. He simply wants to focus on flights in and out of a city, where the airports are, and which airlines run an airline contact. I don't know whether this is a good plan, given that I'm not sure if it's in India yet, but certainly in the markets that my clients are in. I mean, Google basically wants to monopolize this sort of information. And I think, Niraj, even if you build a successful site based on this sort of information, I think because Google wants it, your task is something like swimming up a waterfall. And even if you do build a great site, it may be that the search engine results will give if it's only quick and easy information, clients will get that information without having to go to your site. Maybe even Google will scrape the information from your site to give to those clients. So, this is not a project that I'd get excited about. I think I'd stay in bed before I started to build this. I see that Edwin Jonk has just joined us. Edwin is CEO of IDEST Host in the Netherlands. He's a web host. You'll find him at idesthost.nl. All right, let's. Does anybody else have a comment for Niraj? Okay, moving on. I'm sorry, Niraj, that we can't do better for you. Here's another Niraj, but this one is Niraj Kumar, who's asked a lot of questions of us and this one's titled Interlinking Keywords. He provides a screenshot which can be seen on the SEO Questions community on Google+. He said that below is a screenshot of a search engine results page, 18 and 19 for a search term, Internet Marketing Service at Faridabad. 2 pages are listed simultaneously. One, is it good or it is good to show 2 important pages together for clicks? So just do SEO without trying to separate them in the search engine results page. Sorry, Niraj, I may not be reading that with the right emphasis. And 2, as I've targeted the first page for Internet Marketing Faridabad and the second page for e-marketing consultant Faridabad, will interlinking them with a target keyword as anchor text, will that improve their search engine result page positions or ranking positions? For e-marketing consultant, the page is around the 30th position. I mean, the first thing that I think of is that maybe you're focusing, Niraj, on stuff that really shouldn't trouble your mind. The 30th position is it's not going to make much difference to your life. I see Edwin Jonk has given an answer on the community, and thank Edwin for taking that trouble. But to Niraj, I'd say I wouldn't be interested in finding out how to improve something from 30 to 25 because it's not going to put any more money in your pocket.
Yeah, that was my thinking also. That and since it is a search result for local company, I would focus more on the local side.
Yeah, that's a good answer, Edwin. I think so anyway. Tim Capper might disagree.
When I tried to find him on Google India, I think he was on page 5 or 6. I don't know, but something I wouldn't bother with.
Well, you know what they say, the best place to hide a dead body is on the second page of Google.
And there is a lot of competition in Faridabad.
Well, all the online travel agents, of course, this is information that they'd be doing, and of course there's the direct booking engines. Yeah, I just don't see it. All right. Anything else on this before we move on? I hope that's coffee and not vodka. All right, on to the next. Olindo Vieira asked a question on www and non-www websites for Google Search Console. Olindo said, hi, by default, if we have a www.mydomain.com website, should we always add both the www and non-www websites to the Google Search Console and verify both of them? Thanks. Yeah, I'll jump in there and say yes. Whenever you set up, you should set up both the www and non-www. That gives you the ability to set a preferred page. It gives you more information. That's the recommended method, isn't it, Tim? You should always, when you're setting up Google Webmaster Tools or Google Search Console, as it's said now, you should always do too. I don't know why they don't rewrite the Google Search Console to take account of this, because this affects everybody that sets up a domain. So why not change the script so that they put in the root domain only, and it puts in whatever that they choose as being relevant for them, instead of having to manually do it. Would that make your life easier if you were just able to set up a domain by just entering the root domain and that they did the rest? Well, it would make mine easier anyway. Look, that's the answer anyway, Lindo. And I see that you thanked Ryan Kramer, and I thank Ryan Kramer for being one of our forum heroes and answering this question through the week on the SEO Questions community on Google+. And yes, totally right. I think you should always verify both versions. All right, let me tweet that and move on to the next. Tim Kappa said, who thinks Google Plus is still dead? He said, this is just a test at the moment. Who thinks Google Plus is still dead? He places an image on the SEO Questions community on Google Plus. Tell us all about it, please, Tim. No, doesn't want to.
Didn't we do this on the social media?
We did. So you should be able to do it in your sleep.
Yeah. So basically, this is it's obviously still testing. It's not quite a Google Plus post, but it's a sort of like a Google Plus card. We don't quite know whether it's connected. Well, when it's released, whether it'll be connected in some way, shape, or form into your Google Plus page or brand page, or is it just for local business? Or not quite sure how it's going to work. But essentially, at the bottom line is. And obviously, I'm assuming a business would need to meet certain criteria for their cards to appear like that in the search results. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. And if it's integrated with Google Plus and your business page, and when you update your business page or whatever, yeah, I think, depending on how this rolls out, if it ever rolls out, I think it's brilliant, great for branding, great for your business, but we'll just have to wait and see on how it actually rolls out and if and when.
Yeah, this let's call it product comes from the elections in the United States. So if you search for Hillary Clinton, something similar like those cards pop up. And they rolled it to a couple of hand-picked local business, in this case Julie's in Buffalo. It looks nice. Let's see and wait what Google will do with it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next. This is from Thames Valley Discos. Bing services aren't available right now. I think you'll find that they're back on again. I guess this was just a momentary glitch. If nobody else has a comment, I think we can move on from this one. This was accidents happen, and at that time it was down, but now it's not. Okay to move on, guys? Recording that as a yes. This one is from Sarab Rawat. It's titled, I want to block some invalid URLs. He said, he gives two examples, www.xyz.com/subdirectory/my-page.aspx query string 12 or parameter 12 and 13 and so on. He said, I want to block these URLs in the robots text file. Which one is right? And he said, one, disallow /my-page.aspx question mark asterisk, or disallow subdirectory /my-page.aspx. And I have somebody that has looked this up. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, go ahead. Anybody wants to jump in with this?
I wouldn't block anything. In this case, I would use the row canonical, right? Because he wants my page. He wants that in a search result, I assume. But he doesn't want to have all those duplicates with those parameters. So what I would do is use row canonical.
And probably what, rel prev and rel next?
Well, he says it is invalid URLs, right? So I'm not particularly sure what he means there with invalid.
Yeah, good point.
If he means that those URLs do serve HTTP 200, but he doesn't, but they are duplicates of my page .aspx, then I would use row canonical.
Yep, fair enough. Yeah, I think that we can get carried away with sculpting what we want Googlebot to see, and what I've found over the years, it's easier and less stress on your life to give the robot complete access. Of course, you'd fence off your admin pages and so on, but you're far better off allowing the robots to freely crawl your site. If you try to manipulate them, it usually ends in tears. Anybody else disagree?
Well, robots.txt isn't manipulating. It's just using a val to tell robots not to crawl or to crawl, or some crawl delay. So it isn't manipulating.
For one thing, disallowing doesn't mean not indexing. So he should no index them on the page itself.
If he wants to yes, if he wants them not to be indexed, they have to be crawled by the robot to actually find out that they are not wanted to be indexed. Why? And the other question is, why create pages that you don't want indexed? Why allow them to be created in the first place? What use are they?
We don't know.
Right.
Well, maybe somebody linked with the parameter 1.2, right?
Yeah.
Far-fetched.
Yeah, they're not going to do him any harm, are they? Even if somebody did do that, where's the harm? It's not going to hurt him.
No, I don't think so.
And even if they produce a 404. Anyway, let's move on to the next. Sarab, I hope we've given you some sort of an answer. Here's one posted by David Rozam. Google is experimenting with local business cards in search results. Right now, this is a pure experiment involving a few dozen local businesses that Google approached. It's all custom content and not being drawn from Google My Business or any other feeds. It's also noteworthy for the fact that it represents the first time that Google has introduced or allowed animation GIFs on the search results page. The format was created with mobile users in mind, but it equally displays in PC results. On the desktop, local business cards appear immediately adjacent to the knowledge panel featuring that business, as in the examples above and below. The image can be seen on the SEO Questions community on Google+. On mobile, it's below the knowledge panel equivalent. Comments on this?
Well, this is the same as we discussed before, no?
Yep.
No, this one's for that collections.
No,
So
no. These are also the same cards.
Oh, that's just collections.
Let's move on from this one. David can't be with us today. I see Maher Bagat has just joined us. Maher is a human resources specialist and social media queen from New Delhi in India. Okay. Let's move on from this one. Oh, I see. We are we've answered all of the questions today, guys. I see where that came from. Sorry, the screen that I see doesn't spell it out, but we've answered all of the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google Plus for yet another week. And now we move on to our weekly news roundup. This is where topics of interest are posted on the SEO news community on Google+, and you're welcome to post your own topics. And now we will discuss the items that have been posted. This is another one from David Rozam. The top 7 must-have tools for website owners. David said, some of these I know and love, others I don't know. I haven't seen the article. I should have done my homework, but haven't. Did anybody else check this one out? Can we check it out now? This one really should go in our SEO tools community. If you guys think it's a quality page. David Rozam obviously thought it was a quality page, otherwise he wouldn't have put it up. Can we get a comment from somebody, just so that it's not just me talking to myself? I'll have a look.
Well, I didn't do my homework either. SE ranking? I'm not familiar with that.
The first two I don't know. Google Analytics, of course, is number 3. We all know that. Fourth one, I don't know. Fifth one, don't know. Ahrefs, of course, is a well-respected set of tools for webmasters. SEMrush. Oh, SEMrush is number 7. And I should point out that SEMrush provides to all of our panelists a guru copy of their brilliant tool set for free, and you know, in that they support the work we do here on the SEO Questions community. I love SEMrush. It suits me fine because while I'm doing something else in the background, it's carrying out the ranking checks and the site audits, and you know, letting me know it's something which gives me freedom. It lets me do other things, and the humdrum work of search engine ranking and reporting. I like the reporting function where a weekly report can be scheduled to go out to a client. I'd like to see that developed on. Yes, what I'm trying to say is I love SEMrush.
Yeah, and it's also very nice for keywords, right? To find relevant keywords, to check your competitors. There's a lot of use for SEMrush.
I see they ticked up the other day 12 million keywords in SEMrush.
I haven't advanced on it yet, but I do like it. And in fact, one of the other tools that I've tested is Mention. And to be honest, no, it's not that great actually. If you add keywords in Mention, like for me, I was testing and I did a keyword. It only showed me 10% of results, and the rest all were irrelevant results. Let me see if there is something.
And what does it track? Does it track social media or the whole web?
It is mostly into social media. I haven't seen giving me other than that. It's majority of social media it gives out.
Also Google Plus?
Yeah, I think it gave me results for Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, I think it was showing me Google results, but I don't remember if Google Plus was there in it or not. I didn't try the desktop. I should mention that clearly. I did try their mobile app, and it was actually dysfunctioning. It gave me error while setting it up. So as a experience on mobile app for mention, it wasn't a great experience. It was too much of a pain to actually set up. And here's another problem. I was setting up one thing, I was getting results for different things. So, you know, if I wanted to search in Google as in search results, all the results that shows up in Google for specific keyword, it was also searching Google as a keyword. So I'm not sure how desktop version actually works for it, but mobile wasn't that great, especially as a social media experience for results.
Just had a nice comment on one of our notifications on this particular hangout that we're on. Wilda Oliveira from Sao Paulo in South America left a comment which translates as most interesting or very interesting. Thank you, Wilda. All right, let's move on to our next news article. I think we've only got 4 tonight. I'll tweet this one first. All right, we spoke about this earlier, but an Amsterdam judge orders Google to hand over details of fake reviewers. They're pretty rough and tumble in the Netherlands, and we've got two citizens of the Netherlands on this hangout. Will Google hand over the details, guys?
I think they asked for the IP address. So yeah, they have to, right?
Well, if it's just the IP address, that's not going to prove much. I mean, people can post from a mobile, and the mobile IP address is shared with hundreds of thousands of others. Like everyone makes a call, makes a connection, and they'll get a different IP, or not a fixed IP.
No, the judge told them to give the names, telephone numbers, email addresses.
Yeah, they may not be available.
Yeah, and the IP. They also requested for the IP address. Basically, what happened was that in kindergarten, I got a couple of bad reviews, and they tried to resolve those issues, but they couldn't find the client because those are fake reviews, right? They did find similar mentions on other websites with basically the same review, but in a different case. So they are probably fake, and Google refused to take them down, and that's basically the story. And now they want to find the people that wrote those reviews, so that they can force them to take them down.
Mm-hmm.
I wish them luck. I don't think it will work, but
yes. Something that just dawned on me. I wonder why. I wonder if I should say this is why Google, which was making such great strides forward with a real names policy on Google Plus, reversed that policy and flooded Google Plus with conscripted YouTube users and anonymous users, and allowed anonymous users. I mean, I'm not against anonymous users in some cases, like that there are people that may not want to be, or may have a history of being harassed by stalkers or something, and they may want to remain anonymous, and that's fine, because the anonymous user won't have the same respect or priority as a real name. And you know, that's fine. I think that some anonymous users can cohabitate, but having all anonymous is, you know, I think it's the path to destruction. And you know, I think it's topical too, because Christopher Poole, one of the founders of 4chan, the cesspit of the internet, that he was recently drafted by Bradley Horowitz to join the Google Plus team. I don't know why they would do that, but anyway, they've done it. But yes, I wonder if it's protection from orders like this from the judge. They want to have a service like Google Plus become generally known as impossible to get any information from. What do you think?
Yeah, but in this particular case, these reviews are very nasty, right? It's kindergarten, so if those reviews say that they mistreat some kids, then yeah, it is very damaging for this particular business. In this case, Google should remove the reviews, or set them on pending or something, and saying that they need more evidence to support the particular negative email review.
Yeah. All right, if we have no further comments, we'll move on from this. Okay. Next, well, here's some great news. Google Analytics now removes referral spam from reports. I always thought that this was really properly the role of Google to do, and not to leave it up to every webmaster to make his own particular custom set of rules. It really makes much more sense for Google to just, you know, to take this data out of their reporting tool. And now they've done it. Referral spam, the scourge of the internet. Now that Google is doing this, of course, who's going to bother trying? Or let them try anyway, because we won't even see it. We'll just, you know, people will now stop bothering to do it because we won't even see it.
Well, it's not 100% perfect. Some people still report referral spam. But I think they rolled it out early February. There were some talks about it.
Yeah, 21st of February. I didn't see them anymore. But it's not only referral spam that is spamming you. You can also find it in traffic from direct and from search. So they will find other ways, I'm afraid. It started out just in referrals, but I think a year ago they also started to show up in the channel direct.
All right, thanks,
but
Rob.
it's not as huge as it used to be. It's now acceptable.
All right, let's move on to the next. This is a post that I posted. John Mueller made a post on recommendations for JavaScript sites. It's great that John takes trouble from time to time to make these clarifications. They're always useful. Just the first paragraph, he said an update, March 2016, on the current state and recommendations for JavaScript sites / Progressive Web Apps 1 in Google search. We occasionally see questions about what JavaScript-based sites can do and still be visible in search. So here's a brief summary for today's State of the Union. I won't try and read the rest, but yeah, comments, guys? All right, let's move on to the next, but I've got a feeling it might be, yes, it is, that time again. Thank you for watching. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We'll be back at the same time next week to do this all again, but for now, it's good night.